Penny Hardaway was supposed to be Magic Johnson 2.0.
Man,
Instead,
what the
he was
fuck?
Derrick Rose.
Man, why they come on this thing?
Stop the cap. Stop the cap right now.
He put me Magic. Stop it, man. What are y'all talking about, bro? Hold on, let's get into the video. I'm sorry about that. When? I mean, I don't know too much because I'm a Gen Z. I'm a youngin'. But I know damn well he wasn't supposed to be no
15
Magic.
years before
That
Derrick
ain't
Rose.
true.
Once the most explosive and most popular point guard in the NBA.
That one looks so nasty in
Hardaway's
the Magic
prime was
jersey.
derailed by multiple injuries. This is the story
them
of
damn
Penny Hardaway,
injuries,
the
boy.
greatest player that never was, and one of the biggest what-ifs in NBA history.
Oh my God.
Anthony Hardaway was born in 1971 in a poor neighborhood in Memphis, Tennessee.
1971.
When he was 3, his mother moved to
that's
Oakland
why he
for
be-
work.
okay,
leaving
he from
Anthony with his
Memphis and-
grandmother
okay,
Louise.
that's why he coached
And
Memphis.
it was
I'll be
Louise who gave Anthony his famous nickname. She was calling him Pretty, but due to her thick Southern accent, it sounded more like Penny. And soon,
Penny.
everybody was calling him that. And to
Oh,
protect
that's hard. She was calling him pretty, but that's hard. That hard.
him from all the gang violence that was going on around them, Louise gave Penny the greatest gift he ever received, his first basketball.
Oh,
Soon,
shit.
Penny would spend all his days on the asphalt playground courts. I played for 9 hours a day since I was 8. Some boys would come play, go home, eat, then come back, and I'd still be there playing. Mostly I played by
Facts.
myself.
Yes,
And when he
I
reached
swear to
high school,
God.
all those hours compounded and turned him into a basketball phenom. Hardaway could do everything with the ball. He was also bigger and faster than everybody. By his senior year, Penny stood at 6'7" with an insane 7-foot wingspan. He could easily shoot over every defender and swat their shots like mosquitoes. As a
Damn,
senior, Hardaway
yes.
averaged an unreal 36 points, 10 rebounds, 6 assists,
How, Sway?
4 steals, and
Bitch,
3
passing
blocks per
it.
game. Hardaway's incredible
I
play
ain't
earned him the
passing it.
National High School Player of the Year
What
award
are
by
you talking
Parade
about?
magazine. Penny could choose where he wanted to go to college, but
know
he
he
wanted
went.
to stay close to his grandma, so he opted for Memphis State, which is now the University of Memphis.
Come
But
on,
there
man.
was one
You know
big
where he
problem.
went.
Penny couldn't pass his ACTs, despite taking the test 4 times, which put him under the infamous Proposition 48 regulation for
Damn.
student athletes. While Hardaway was able to join Memphis State, he was academically ineligible to play during his freshman year. The only games he could play were so-called intramural games. And Penny, who was already a local hero and high school superstar, dominated. People used to fill the practice facility to max capacity to watch him play, but that meant nothing if he didn't improve academically. Thankfully, Penny earned all the credits he needed with a 3.4 GPA, and he was
Okay,
finally
big
eligible
brother.
to play as a sophomore.
Okay, big
However,
brother.
just when everything worked out for Penny, a near tragedy almost took his life. Hardaway played pickup games in an old neighborhood gym, and when he was returning home, Penny and one of his friends were robbed at gunpoint. The attackers fired several shots, and one of the bullets ricocheted off the ground and struck Hardaway's right foot. After being shot, Penny was forced to lie face down.
Bruh.
How, Sway?
But how the fuck?
Hey, bro, come on now, dog. Come on, man.
Bro, how? Won't ricochet him in the leg, him in the foot? See, bro, y'all niggas always trying to act tough, trying to be gangster, robbing hoopers. They are hoopers. That's like the one thing I love about Baltimore, bro. When you was a hooper at the time, they ain't really mess with you like that, gang. And when they mess with you, they already know you 6'3", so I'm 6'3", nigga. You ain't
On the
really about to-
pavement
I'm about to
as the
knock you
robber
out.
pointed a gun at his neck.
Well, he
I
got a
kept
gun, we
thinking,
can't really
he's
do
going to
that.
shoot me in my back. He's going to shoot me in my head. Thankfully, Penny survived. However, he was now faced with another battle. The bullet that hit him broke 3 metatarsal bones in
Damn.
his foot. But despite everything, the operation was successful. Penny made a full recovery and was finally able to play for the Tigers. And immediately he showed what all the hype was about. Penny averaged 17 points, 7 rebounds, 5.5 assists, 2.5
Silent.
steals, and 1.5 blocks
Giving
per
out
game,
work.
leading Memphis to the Elite 8. In the offseason, Penny was selected to the development team
hard.
that scrimmaged against the 1992 Dream Team, helping them prepare for the Olympics. After playing against Jordan and Magic Johnson, it was a walk in the park to play against college
about to
kids.
say, I'm about
As a
to say, I'm about to
junior,
go back
Hardaway
and cook
improved
y'all, boys.
across the board
Y'all already
with
know what
23
it
points,
is.
8 rebounds,
Ooh.
6.5 assists,
Here at 23, 8, and 6.
and 2.5 steals per
Little-
game. He
ooh,
was the
little
most
part.
versatile player in college basketball, with a unique blend of skills that made him a
little
hybrid between
part
Magic
slick.
Johnson
Oh.
and Scottie Pippen. Other than
Stop
Magic,
it.
nobody as tall as Penny handled the ball so effortlessly, with a deep bag of reverses, spins, crossovers, hesitations, and changes of pace. Hardaway could really do it all. But this was the age before the internet, when information was scarce. And while every NBA general manager knew about Penny, some NBA superstars didn't. Among those who had never heard about Hardaway was Shaquille O'Neal. Shaq had just finished his first NBA season, where he dominantly won Rookie of the Year. and got
Of course, he
selected to
was
the
cooked,
All-Star
boy.
game. And because he
Shaq
was
big
just as
body.
good in front of the camera as he was on the court, he quickly became one of the most popular players in the NBA. Marketing executives and film producers fell in love with Shaq too. And after his rookie season, he got offered a role in a basketball film called Blue Chips, where he
Blue
first
Chips.
met Hardaway.
That's
And when
hard.
Shaq first saw Penny, he wasn't familiar with his game, actually believing that Hardaway was an actor. And even though the Orlando Magic, he wasn't familiar with his game, actually
why
believing
him
that
and Shaq
Hardaway
look like
was
the
an
same
actor.
height?
And even
Fuck.
though the Orlando Magic had just a one
Bro, don't him and Shaq look like they was the same height? Am I tripping? Don't him and Shaq look like they the same height, gang? Or did Shaq grow after his rookie year? Or am I tripping?
his game, actually believing that Hardaway was an actor. And even though the Orlando Magic had just a 1% chance to get the #1 overall pick, the stroke of luck gave them that opportunity. And everybody in the world believed they would pair Shaq with Chris Webber, who was universally accepted as the best collegiate player. But during the shooting of Blue Chips, O'Neal got so enamored with Penny's game that he gave Orlando the ultimatum: either draft Penny or lose me. However, when the 1993 draft
Man,
came
they ain't give a
around,
fuck
the
what
Magic
Shaq
drafted
talking about.
Chris Webber.
The Orlando Magic select Chris Webber.
Shaq was furious, but moments later it was announced that his wish was granted.
Orlando
Damn.
has traded the draft rights to Chris Webber to Golden State
For
in
Penny.
exchange for the draft rights to Anthony Hardaway and 3 future first-round draft picks.
They don't. Hold on. They thought Penny was sweet. No way they didn't think Penny was sweet. 3 future first rounds? Nah, Golden State thought Penny was weak. I ain't gonna lie. They thought that nigga was weak. Bro, or they already had it set up. Anywhere it goes, they thought that nigga was weak, gang. I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. They thought he was weak. Because Orlando was like, I'm going to get Chris Webber just in case whoever go get whatever, I can just trade because they're going to want Chris Webber. I understand that. But the fact that they gave an extra 3 first rounds means they thought Chris Webber wasn't him. It
Then,
was
when
him,
the
so-
season started,
but
Penny and Shaq continued to build on the
That's
magic
insane.
that started on the movie set. The young, fast, and athletic Orlando Magic became the most fun team in the league, finishing the season with 50 wins and making the playoffs for the first time in franchise history. And even though they got swept by the Pacers in the first round, they had plenty to be happy about. Shaq averaged 29 points, 13 rebounds, and 3 blocks, while Penny proved to be a perfect point guard for him. Hardaway finished the season with 16 points, 5 boards, 6.5 assists, and
solid. I like
2.3
it.
steals per game,
16
finishing
assists.
slightly behind Webber in the Rookie of the Year voting. But despite a plethora of young talent, the Magic were aware of their chronic lack of experience. So in the summer of 1994, they
We got
brought in
Horace
Horace Grant, one of the key pieces of the 3-time champion Chicago Bulls. Brian Shaw also arrived, and the Magic were ready to take the next step. And they did. Hardaway was the conductor of the show. O'Neal attacked the rim with no mercy. Nick Anderson and Dennis Scott were hitting from outside when Shaq got doubled. Horace Grant did all the dirty work, and B. Shaw was there to steady the ship off the bench. Orlando finished the season with 57 wins and had the #1 seed in the East, with the best offensive rating in the NBA. Penny averaged
Cooking
20
shit.
points and
Yeah,
7
stop
assists
playing
per
with
game
Penny.
on 52%
Nigga, Golden
shooting,
State
and was
is-
named to the All-Star team together with Shaq.
Hardaway plus finding Shaquille.
And after they dispatched the Celtics in the first round of the playoffs, a big challenge awaited: the Chicago Bulls with the freshly returned Michael Jordan.
45,
However,
that
the young
nasty
Magic team
45.
proved to be too big and too athletic for the Bulls.
Ooh,
They
dunk
broke
on his
Jordan's
head.
invincible aura, winning the series in 6 games. After they defeated the Bulls, Orlando faced their nemesis, Indiana Pacers, who had given them a painful lesson in the 1994 playoffs. But this time, Orlando was ready, and they finally cracked the Pacers in 7 games, behind stellar performances from Shaq and Penny, who averaged 20 points, 7 assists, and 2.5 steals,
Yeah,
shooting
Penny.
a phenomenal 53% from the
Ugh,
field
no
and
passing.
47% from free.
Ugh.
The Magic advanced to the NBA Finals against the defending champion Houston Rockets and their powerhouse center Hakeem Olajuwon. And while the battle between Shaq and Hakeem was the center of attention, it was the role players who were the biggest story of Game 1 of the Finals. With 10 seconds left in the game, Orlando was up 3 and had the ball. After a foul on Nick Anderson, Orlando's guard missed both free throws. However, he managed to get the rebound and was fouled again.
12 of 15 at the line.
And missed 4 of them hoes. Oh my God! I'd have cut his ass.
But 2
He's
more
been
free
cut
throws
after the game.
brought 2 more misses. If
I'd have cut
Anderson
him after
made
the
just
game.
1, the game would be over. But with 2 seconds left, Kenny Smith hit a 3-pointer to tie the game and send it to overtime.
I'd have cut that nigga, man. Ain't no way you missed 4 of them.
Houston managed to prevail and win
4?
Game 1 on the road. This loss zapped the energy from the Magic, and the experienced Rockets took advantage. Even though the games were close, Houston won the next 3 and swept the overly confident kids from Orlando. Penny was again spectacular in the finals, averaging 25, 5, and 8 on
Stop
50%
playing, man.
shooting and
Cooking
46% for 3. But the Magic simply fell apart and were not ready for the moment. Shaq later admitted that he and Dennis Scott partied for a week straight after they won the East, thinking that if they defeated Jordan, they would easily win the championship. However, despite the gutting loss, Orlando was still super young and extremely talented. In the 1996 season, they improved their record to 60 wins, finishing second in the East behind the 72-10 Chicago Bulls. Penny improved his numbers across the board with 21 points, 7 assists, and 2 steals. Hardaway was once again the only player in the NBA who averaged 20 points and 5 assists while shooting 50% from the field. Around that time, Nike started the extremely successful campaign of Little Penny commercials, with Chris Rock as the voice for Hardaway's alter ego.
Hey, Penny, is this couch real leather? Because it's sticking to my leg.
Hardaway was considered the best and the most popular point guard in the NBA.
In a matter of just 2.5 years, Penny Hardaway has established himself as one of the best talents in the NBA, arguably among the top 5 players in the league.
And his rise to superstardom didn't sit too well with Shaq and his big ego. The media rumblings of whose team it actually was started to create turmoil between the two Magic stars.
No, bro, the media made it that, bro. Shaq's averaging 30. You know who team it is. Come on, man.
Stop the cap.
Come on, man.
But as Orlando was winning games, everything seemed under control. In the playoffs, they quickly defeated the Pistons and the Hawks, losing just 1 game en route to the conference finals, where they were eagerly awaited by the Chicago Bulls, who'd had the best regular season record in NBA history. And this time around, the Bulls had Dennis Rodman, the best rebounder of all time, and it made all the difference in the world. Chicago destroyed the Magic in Game 1, winning by 38 points. But in Game 2, Orlando led by 15 at halftime, and it seemed like it was going to be a long series. But the Bulls quickly bounced back in the second half, winning Game 2, which killed the Magic's spirit. Game 3 was another blowout, and Game 4 was just a formality, as the Magic got swept.
Damn.
Hardaway still had a great series individually, averaging 25 points on 47% shooting, but the lack of depth and rebounding sealed Orlando's fate, and Rodman nearly had as many offensive rebounds as the entire Magic team. However, with Shaq and Penny on board and just reaching their prime, everybody believed these were just growing pains and a few small hiccups on their road to the title. But the dynasty that was supposed to happen fell apart before it really caught its stride. In the summer of 1996, Shaq's rookie contract was up and he became a free agent. He was expected to stay, but the Magic kept stalling with his new contract. And when the Orlando Sentinel published a poll where 85% of readers said that Shaq was too greedy, O'Neal was pissed. Los Angeles Lakers GM Jerry West realized that he had the chance to swoop in and get the best center in the NBA.
ESPN has learned that the Lakers can now offer Shaq over $120 million.
And Orlando lost their biggest star.
Orlando
However, Penny and Shaq would become teammates again just a few weeks later, both playing for Team USA at the 1996 Olympics, leading the U.S. to another gold medal. And when the 1997 season started, Hardaway could finally show that he was the man and solidify his reputation as the best point guard in the NBA. However, Penny battled through minor injuries throughout the year, which forced him to miss 23 games, and his averages dropped to 19 points and 5 assists per game. But he still made the All-Star and All-NBA third team. Without Shaq and with Penny missing time, Orlando barely made the playoffs, where they lost to the Heat in 5 games. But in that series, Penny showed what he was capable of as the first option. Hardaway averaged 31 points, by far the best mark of any player. Nobody else on the Magic averaged more than 12, and Penny either scored or assisted on half of Magic's points. Hardaway was 26 at the time, and he was in line to take Jordan's place as the face of the NBA. But instead of dominating on the hardwood, Penny dominated operation tables and rehabilitation
Damn.
centers. Hardaway suffered his first major knee injury in 1998, which forced him to miss all but 19 games of the season. Because of his popularity, the fans still voted him as an all-star starter, but he also got criticized for attempting a comeback sooner than expected just to play in the All-Star game. Still, Hardaway returned in time for the lockout-shortened 1999 season and managed to play in all 50 regular season games.
One thing about the Magic on Saturday night, they really had a good-looking Penny Hardaway, and that is encouraging.
Even though he already lost some of his explosiveness, he led the Magic with averages of 16 points, 6 rebounds, and 5 assists. His 2.2 steals were the 5th best mark in the league, and despite the scoring decline, Penny was still one of the most versatile players in the entire league. But the Magic simply didn't have many weapons around Hardaway, and they lost a first-round series to the 76ers, with Penny averaging 19 points, 5.5 assists, 5 rebounds, and 2.3 steals, once again improving his stats in the playoffs. It started to dawn on Penny that he can't win in Orlando. His good friend Jason Kidd was calling him to Phoenix, and before the start of the 1999-2000 season, Hardaway was traded to the Suns. The pairing of Kidd and Hardaway was dubbed Backcourt 2000 because they were both athletic finishers and amazing passers.
Hardaway.
But they both weren't great three-point shooters, so neither could really play off the ball. And while the Suns' offense was average, they had the third-best defense in the league. Penny averaged 16, 6, and 5 in the regular season. And again, he upped the ante in the playoffs, leading the Suns past the Spurs even without Kidd, who was nursing an ankle injury. But in the second round, against his old friend Shaq and his Lakers, Penny was helpless. Despite averaging 21, 4, and 5, Shaq was unstoppable, and the Suns lost in 5 games.
10, 1, 4,
And
and
this
5?
would be the
That's
last
cooking
good
shit.
season of Penny's career. The next season, he had 2 microfracture surgeries on his knee and played in just 4 games. And after the season ended, Jason Kidd got traded. In the next 2 years, Penny was relatively healthy, missing just 24 games, but it was clear he wasn't the same player anymore, as he only averaged 11 points per game. During the 2004 trade deadline, Hardaway was traded to New York, but in the next 3 seasons, he only appeared in 83 games, averaging 8 points per game. After a total of 5 surgeries on his left knee and battling arthritis, Penny finally decided to retire after the 2006 season. But after missing the entire 2007 season, he gave it another go, signing a minimum deal with Miami, where he once again teamed up with Shaq. However, after only appearing in 16 games, he left the NBA for good. Hardaway was supposed to be the more athletic version of Magic Johnson, and when he was healthy, he lived up to that expectation. Between 1994 and 2000, he averaged 21.5 points, 6.5 assists, 4.5 rebounds, and 2 steals per game in the playoffs, showcasing fluidity, explosiveness, and versatility that's rarely seen from a 6'7" point guard. But the injuries chewed up his athleticism, and just like Derrick Rose, Penny's prime only lasted for a few years at the very beginning of his career. Thanks for watching Nonstop.
Yeah, that's insane, bro. Them injuries will fuck your whole career up, bro. That's like, it's an injury, bro. Imagine Penny without the injury. You think he becomes that guy? I don't know, because 21, I think he could have went up 25. I don't think he could have did much more. But Penny, he nigga started an All-Star game and he play the whole season. That's tough. Look, man, like, comment, subscribe, bro. Roll to 10K subs, man. We almost there. I'm doing a giveaway at 10K, so, hey, tune in for that. Y'all already know what's going on. I'm going to see y'all in that video, man. Let me know who y'all want me to react to next, and I got y'all.